Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi, fantasy, and pop culture commentary. How you guys doing? I'm Seven. We've got Drew and we've got Corey.
I hurt my neck.
So,
one funny thing I've noticed that we do, just like as guys,
right.
When you're revving up, Seven, we all kind of just adopt the mode of just like, just kind of, have you noticed? We kind of like cigarettes, we just all kind of ease up, and we're just,
Just chill.
He's good.
But you know what, though? I mean, it's been said many different ways, but it's saying the same thing. You know, no matter where you are in the world, we just
have a doppelganger.
We're just cool. Like
I've seen multiple people do it. It's just kind of like we casually we're easing into it, and we're just kind of like
But I'm just saying in general, brothers are just. But I'll leave it at that. That's what this show is about today. So
nerds unite.
We'll do another thing on that. So we were talking about the long walk, and then we've got some Jonathan Majors info, allegedly. We'll talk about that. So, but let's just go with a long walk. We'll wrap that up. You said, Drew, in the last episode that you like how the young men were portrayed.
Are we doing spoilers?
I'm going to try to avoid it, but in order to go into some of the like what Seven just asked, I'm going to have to spoil some parts a little bit. You kind of know what to expect. The Long Walk is basically it's a film version of one of Stephen King's earlier short stories. He went under the name of, what was it, something Bachman? Can't remember what the alias was, but it was the pseudonym that he used at the time. Long and short of it is a group of men, young men, they're usually like teenagers, are taken to this one location and they're made to walk mostly unknown miles on a constant straight line. They can't veer off course or they get shot. If they fall behind a certain amount of time, they get warnings and then they get shot. And it's basically a death march. The survivor gets money and a wish. And it basically follows, his name was Raymond and Pete and the group that they're walking with. And in way of Stephen King adaptations, I gotta say it's up there with, I would say, like the newer joints like It, like the remake of It that they did.
Okay.
It doesn't go as hard. I gotta preface it. It's the long walk. When you get into this movie, be prepared for a lot of just walking and dudes talking.
Right.
Things will happen.
Right.
There are moments of action, there are moments of suspense and stuff like that, but be prepared for just lots of walking, talking, and emotion in this movie.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
To your question, Seven, it's portrayal of boys, like young teenage dudes in this. It's good. It's definitely one of the better portrayals I've seen in film. It was written to where the actors, they all kind of came in and did their thing. They're all well acted. There's a lot of parallels that the film draws to young men being sent out to war in this. And it shows down to the time period, because I was actually surprised to realize the film takes place, I think, in a variant of the 1960s.
Yes, okay. That's what they said in the beginning. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is this is like a Stephen King version of the 1960s, to where it's a dystopia, and this is part of like this long walk is part of basically what could you even call it? Like a government obeisance, to where they sacrifice X amount of people for economic reasons, as it's explained to us.
To me, this was like, to modernize it, if the Purge and the Hunger Games had a baby, it'll be the Long Walk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring up that, Corey, because this predates stuff like the Hunger Games and Battle Royale,
which is crazy.
Stuff where they're sacrificing where the government is sacrificing kids for whatever's sake, for oath and creed or whatever the hell. But this came out way before that stuff, so for that to be a thing was, for me, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What do you know? What year he wrote this?
I'll tell you right now. It was 1979.
Yeah.
Oh wow! So that's even before like the Running Man and those kind of.
Yeah, this was before that stuff. And he kind of, if I'm not misremembering, King wrote it as kind of like a commentary on young men that had been sent to war in Vietnam.
That would make sense.
It makes sense, and it definitely does show in the film because the boys that we follow, they're kind of our squad. They're our platoon, and one by one, it's just, we lost such and such is gone. And that weighs on them. That takes a toll on them over the course of the film.
If I have this correct, they said that fresh, Rotten Tomatoes, 97%. Like, a lot of people like this.
With Rotten Tomatoes, grain of salt, but yeah, with this one, I'd give it like, we're going like 0 to 100%. I'd give this like an 80.
Okay.
It's not perfect. Again, if you're not prepared for like long emotional discussions between hormonal young men, this is not going to be the joint for you.
Gotcha.
I only say that because the theater that I saw it in, it was an interesting group. The person next to me fell asleep. The person behind me kept asking stupid questions that we either weren't supposed to know answers to or were blatantly obvious. So hearing that person clucking behind me was kind of annoying. But it gave me an interesting vantage for who will like the film, who will dislike the film, and who may not be interested.
Well, from what you said about it, I could see the issue. If you don't like dialogue and emotions, this is not the film for you. Because they're mostly walking. It's really about the dialogue that really keeps everything together, correct?
They keep it going. I'm not gonna like try and undersell that there's a good pace to it. They chart the miles. You get an idea for each kid as like they meet up. They very early on they become friends. Which I think was like, oh man, as sweet as that is, as cool as that is, y'all are setting yourselves up. Because like, what's the other one? Squid Games. When you get acquainted with people, it's only a matter of time before you have to start. People start getting screwed over. You're going to have one that gets lost. You're going to start losing people, and that's going to start to weigh on you. And before you know it, the situation is a hell because you're all friends now.
Right. Isn't the whole point?
So,
like, only one person can win in this, correct?
There's only one winner. There is a winner.
So then, why would you even bother trying to be friends with them?
Well, okay. See, that's the interesting question of it. Why would you even bother being friends? Some people ask that question as they get there. Reason being, lots of these guys are young. And as the film kind of unveils itself, you realize these dudes have this notion that they're not really gonna kill us. One of the kids, partial spoiler territory, one of the kids even says at one point, I genuinely thought that when the first of us fell behind, they'd pull the gun on him, he'd pull the trigger, and there'd be like a little bang. A little fake bang thing on it. And then they would have sent the kid home. And I'm like, some of the kids walk in thinking it's a joke. They're not going to kill us. Other kids, no, they're going to kill you. There's records of this. I've seen it.
Wow.
Okay. Other kids are like, they had this boyish optimism of it's going to be me. I got this. I'm writing my memoir already on what's going to happen after I win. And one by one, folks start getting mowed down. It's like it starts getting real, bro. And dudes are like, oh man, but they're homies. They're friends by this point. So it's like it's rough. It's rough.
I gotta interject.
Yeah.
This was one of the biggest things that I had a problem getting over with in the movie. So, as you know, I spent a fair bit of time in the military. So the military aspect, it was there, but I felt like that portrayal was so subpar. Like it didn't really give you that feeling of the allegory of these kids are going off to war or anything like that. How it was portrayed is annually, like the Hunger Games, they picked 50 kids to represent their state because of the poverty that I guess they went through before, because it was such a big war that it gave everyone an equal chance to get riches, to get themselves out of poverty. And so it was televised. Year after year, it was televised. So how they set this up is like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. That kind of threw me off. Like it wasn't consistent. Like the dialogue of this movie was not consistent in that regard.
When it comes to the breakdown and the how do you explain the logistics of the contest, That part I agree with you.
Yeah, the world building that they set didn't make sense.
If it's televised, they all know what happens to these boys when they go on this walk. So then why would you want to be friends with the people that you know are ultimately going to die? However, the film kind of saves itself in the idea that if this is going to be their last walk on this earth, rather than just be a silent, just death march of just guys that are just waiting to see which one of us are going to die, they form kinship. They do what young guys are going to do. They start talking to each other. They don't want their minds to be on the situation that they're on. Some of them don't even believe that they're going to die. So it's the idea that let's just go through this together, and when people start dying off, we'll deal with it after the fact. It's a very human tale in that regard because there are histories, leagues and letters of young men who went off into war and did just that. So the film kind of gets away with that. It's kind of clever in that regard. And when it came to the bond that particularly Pete and what was it, Raymond? They do. There's a thing. It's not a complaint. It's just an assertion that I'm making on it.
Right.
They try to take the brotherhood to romance thing a little too far.
Oh Lord.
There's a few moments, particularly from the side of Pete, who's played by the one brother who was in the Alien movie. He was the android.
Romulus, yeah.
Romulus. I really dug his character in that movie. I like that actor. I think he's great. But him as Pete, there's certain moments where they just have him linger on certain things for too long. There's a stare that just goes on for a little too long for somebody who's just your boy, even if it is your best friend.
I didn't pick that up. I mean, you're walking with someone for miles. What else are you going to look at?
There's plenty of scenery. There's tons of stuff to look at. And there's questions like, you got all that scenery. But then when it comes to the question that they ask you got a girl back home, Pete? And Pete says, he gives him this really odd, long, unnecessarily lingering look. No, Ray, I don't. I'm like, are you telling us something without saying something, Pete? If so, cool. And again, that could happen in a military situation.
Right.
But I don't know. Then they play around the idea, well, we're brothers. I'm like, all right, cool, Phil.
This is what I got from it. And I don't know, if you go back and rewatch the movie, I thought that this was genius. There are certain parts of the movie that I love, certain parts that I didn't. Sure. When they're walking on the road, and even before they start walking on the road, the world is very desolate. Like, it just looked like ransacked, trashed. It's very, very poor. Yeah. However, when they were walking on the road was pristine. But whenever they looked off into the world, it was very, very gray and dehumanizing. So it didn't seem like something that you wanted to walk through or walk in. And I thought that was a very good commentary for, like, how you're saying you're watching these boys find their way through what we would call manhood. And I don't know if you know this, like the lead actor, what's his name? Something Hoffman. He's Philip Seymour Hoffman's son.
Dude, okay. Thank you, Corey. I'm watching him, and I'm like, why does he remind me of Philip Seymour Hoffman? I know Philip Seymour Hoffman is dead, but particularly in the flashback scene, when they show him before, then they took his dad out in the back, I'm like, dude, why do you look exactly like Philip Seymour Hoffman? And it makes sense, because it's his son. Okay, makes sense. He was good.
And so, a lot of allegories that they have between real life and putting this into the movie, like he dealt with losing his dad in real life, and he did it in this movie. And there were a lot of allegories that related to real life, like you're saying with Pete.
Oh wow,
he does going through the Black experience. Yeah, going through the Black experience and them putting it in a movie so eloquently was genius. That's why I'm like, I didn't really get that sense of it being a military movie. And I must say, Mark Hamill as the major kind of threw me off. He sounded more militant than a military major.
They call him the major, man. He had a military title. He was surrounded by a bunch of military type dudes. So I just figured, I guess that's just his rank. Okay.
He sounded like more of a militia leader than someone who's actually.
He could have been that, though. He could have been that.
Yeah,
though, Corey,
I think that was the allegory that they were going with. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Now, I know nothing of the military. I read up on it. I'm like a history buff somewhat when it comes to stuff like that. But from what I gathered, it was definitely post. If we were in World War III or whatever war did it, it was us in the aftermath of that. The aftermath of that Earth was scuffed. There's beautiful stuff in it. There's fields, there's mountains, there's forests. We have all that beautiful nature around us. But in the midst of that, you got burnt out, bombed out cars. You got the hillbillies have eyes watching you. They're having a picnic, watching y'all walk the road, probably to get your brain splattered on the road any given moment. So it's like the dystopian elements are there. You have other things that are going on around the boys as they're walking. They fall out with each other. They make up. They get another one of them falls behind. Someone gets injured. Someone gets a rock in their shoe. Someone's got to take a dump. Stuff happens, and it's just all part of this just slow thresher, this slow walk through Hades. And I thought that crap worked. And when you find out things about the Major and how he connects to certain other characters in the film, it's like, okay, this actually works. It did it for me. I got there with this one.
I mean, the most obvious allegory was their lottery, which is supposed to be military draft, and I like the catalog that they had, or the dialogue that they had with that. That was very accurate.
Now, see, the curious thing about that is, though, and I got to see if I'm going to read the actual novel of it. I want to see if they actually said if it's a lottery or if you volunteered. They say both in Garrity's letter.
Oh.
And when I saw that, when they open up with that, it says, we appreciate your volunteered admission to the blah, blah, blah thing with in the lottery. I'm like, well, wait, if he volunteered, how is it also a lottery? Did he choose to, or did he just get selected?
So the funny thing about that is it was a similar verbiage towards the draft. Like when you were drafted for Vietnam, thank you for your service, thank you for volunteering to serve your country, blah, 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 the propaganda. Yeah. But that was very, very equivalent. So that's why I can see how Stephen King wanted to make it like a military movie, but the execution wasn't really there for people who did serve.
I see the comparisons. I think he did a good job with it. Because the idea was they were on a slow death march, which effectively that's what war is. Particularly Vietnam, they had these boys walking through all that crap, one by one getting picked off in horrific ways. In this film, it's wild because you think it just ends with a bullet to the head, as bad enough as that is, right? But nah, they managed to fit in this film a few other interesting ways to get these boys taken out that just has you go, oh yeah, war trauma. There you go. You getting run over by a tank. Yeah, that happened in war.
Wow. I mean, we gotta stop acting like Vietnam was the first war. There's been wars since the dawn of humanity.
I only say that
millions died. I'm just saying that's
no. It's funny you mentioned because
you're right. World War II and Vietnam, but I say that because he wrote that at around the time when that was still a thing. It was still fresh on. He even said this in an interview, I believe. It's like that's kind of what he had in mind when he was writing it.
Right.
So I'm with it. I dug it. Overall, I think this is definitely check it out. You don't have to go to the theaters to see it. You can check this out on streaming in the comfort of your own home and have a good time. Well, not a good time with it. It's
not a happy film.
It's a good watch, but it's not a happy romp. I'll put it that way.
Would recommend the theater because you get that immersion when you're in the theater. So I think
that's true.
That brings it another level with this movie specifically.
Yeah.
Why am I stuttering?
Right, so let me give a shout out to Christian Bale. Allegedly, he's building a $22 million village to keep siblings together in foster homes. So, just for some pop culture news that is actually positive,
I guess.
It's a good tax write-off. But at least he's doing something. Sure. I'll give it to that. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan
you think John Mayer?
We had less than 15 minutes a few minutes ago. So
I know.
It's like 10 minutes left.
10 minutes about. So we could probably get the Jonathan Majors thing in.
Yeah.
Is there a new film that he's in, or is this?
No. Allegedly, he is going to be
returning
in the Avengers Doomsday.
So is he returning as?
I guess.
That's the only thing that would make sense.
Yeah,
I get, but is it gonna matter? Is it gonna be like in the background somewhere? There's gonna be a joke or a quip, and then they're gonna pan to Kang somewhere in the room. That's kind of what these Marvel joints have been.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll save my comments.
I think that's we'll see. We're all kind of cautiously just waiting to see what happens with that. Okay, I mean he's still working, so that's something.
And
I know he did this one movie where he plays a psycho bodybuilder that sounded kind of interesting.
Right. And he just got engaged, right? Or are they married now?
Diddy and Megan Good?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
I think they're just engaged. I don't think they got married. Let me double check.
That looks good.
Yeah, things are all right for him. He looks like he's pivoting. He's doing all right. Mm-hmm. So good to hear.
Now, this is random, but that thing that I sent you with the gremlin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. From Gremlins 2?
Why is this the look? Like, this is...
I don't see what you're seeing, but if it's... I think it's what you shared.
Yeah. That is the look right now. As far as makeup... one of the looks. Yeah. One of the looks.
It's one of the primary looks. I mean, most of the kids call it the 304 look. Your garden variety standard issue 304. But, I mean, it is... What the 1920s called the floozy, 2025 is what we would call the 304. Gotcha. I'd say that's kind of the best way that I got for it. If that's your vibe, if that's your look, okay. But I just kind of think it's as cartoonish to see in real life as it is for you to share that image of with me. I think that when I see that in real life, well, luckily this is why I'm a homebody. I stay at home. When I see it in the wild, when I'm out in these streets and I see it out loud, it's like kind of clown tune type of stuff. Like the clown music plays in my head, and I just keep pushing. I'm usually just off in my own world. But yeah, it is. It does look like that. Those of you that's your look.
Yeah.
Robbie, do you? Be free, but that's kind of what that's what that looks like.
And while you're doing you, as a being that could see, I'm just giving my 2 cents. I don't know any males that are interested in females that particularly like that look. They just like girls and anybody that can give them attention, whatever. But like, I don't know, no, like you like that, but I hope you don't think you're doing that because we like that.
I'm gonna clear that up a little bit, Seven. I'll give it this much.
Right.
Some types of dudes like that type of shape or look on a chick for a night or two, maybe a couple nights out of the week, or the occasional bang out. But aside from that, waking up to that every day, having that be your life partner, traversing this thing called life with that person, that gremlin next to you every day, that ain't it. Okay. That ain't it. So
just to say, Jonathan Majors got married in March 2025.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say he liked that look. Like don't you say nothing about no. Don't you say that about Megan now.
I'm not. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about either person. Yeah. If they make it work for each other, if they're good to each other, hey, cool.
Yeah, but I just find it fascinating because every time I see that particular gremlin, I just think of wow. There's some people in sports that dress like that, and I'll leave it at that because I don't want to. It's
the kind of modern floozy look, bro. That's you're not alone. You're not. That's kind of what we think. Yeah,
there's some singers and rappers and then you have some teachers now borderlining dressing like.
Oh
that.
Yeah, I've seen the report. Yeah, some teachers that have lost their jobs because they dressed a little too risque. Mm-hmm. And when you see the pictures of them, I'm like, that would look good at the club. Not at school. Not
what
when
club?
You're around a bunch of kids.
What club does that look good in?
I mean, if you're a club person, I'm not a club goer. So
right.
But, I mean, yeah, if that's your tribe, rock out, man. But not that ain't it.
So this is just my love letter to any females of all ages, especially youngins. I'm just giving you a heads up. Most of us, that's not. I don't know how you follow that trend, who started it, but nah.
Not our generation. Maybe for a different generation it is, but I don't think that's for our generation.
I've asked youngins and even the old skis, like, not really.
Younger dudes are a lot less into it. It's we didn't create the term 304. They did. That's the YN's version of that.
Wow.
Some dudes dig it for a night. Most guys don't want to wake up to that every day. We just don't.
And since we're shots fired, we're going to end in a bang if we got a few more seconds to go. So there's
The burning flame of truth.
the thing on Canada. They're doing this thing, sex for rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, people are already doing that.
No, but I mean,
The
like,
oldest profession lives on. Gentlemen.
actually having agreements, though, like
Yeah.
on
Now
paper.
it's a process. Yep.
That's a whole other episode, I think, yo. We can save that. No, legit. I generally think that we can go on for a minute with that one, but it's a thing. I've seen it.
It's been a thing though.
But yeah, my thing is
But
that
not on
people to a
paper.
point, like
Not on paper.
not on paper. But the
Paper's
practice
new,
of
but
it, I'm
been a
like,
thing.
it's happened somewhere, so we can't really be that surprised. I'm not really that shocked, but the fact that someone put it on paper, I'm like, yeesh. The times they are changing, I guess.
I mean, that's gangster.
Do you not remember like there's a whole service for people who cuddle?
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course there's gonna be.
Yeah.
So it's in the same line of work. It's fine.
It's fine.
Not quite, but not quite. But I see kind of.
No, there are agreements to cuddle. Like this is what we allow. This is what we don't allow. These are our limitations.
I don't know if it's the first of the month. Crack them cheeks open is quite the same as, hey, do you want a spoon for an hour for $50? But I don't know.
It's not even just an hour. It could be a whole day, or it could be like, again, according to
I don't know if
contract.
spooning and having a monthly cracking of a tenant's cheeks is quite on the same level.
For rent, for
rent,
for a domicile.
I don't know.
So what do you? We're teetering. I mean, if you guys got time for some social media bashing?
Sure, always got time for that.
I mean, I kind of want to make something to eat, but we can for a minute.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna let this timer run out. We which is good because we need just 3 minutes, and I think we have 3 minutes, so that's perfect.
That's what some people made their
so
agreement
you know what? I'll just get your reaction on it. I won't even put the pictures up, whatever. So allegedly, Jay-Z sparked a debate online saying that his wife is better than Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I think I sent that to you, and blah blah blah. And then Janet, of course, was like, he created the blueprint. Mm-hmm. Mind you, this could all be fake beef or just try to get attention because he's trying to do stuff with the casino and everything. But what do you think about these little random internet borderlining gossip stuff? I mean, I'm talking about it just being a news outlet, but I don't really care.
You've already said it, Seven. It's like it's gossip. That's the operative word. I don't care. It sounds like this is some made up beef between Jay-Z and however many other parties to get some drama going because someone has an album that's about to drop. I just saw another three Beyonce commercials back to back to back at the theater that I went to last night. I'm like, why? She must have something new dropping.
Gotcha.
And now this. So I'm kind of my gears are spinning, and it's like this is just some Hollywood beef crap that I don't really care about. Y'all do you.
One more of two individuals, like whatever, but Chris Rock said something about like Kevin Hart. Basically, all his jokes about him being 5'2", and then of course,
he's not wrong. But yeah,
and he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
But Kevin Hart was like, yeah, well, I didn't have to be slapped by Will Smith to be relevant again. Kind of.
And then that's where Kevin Hart then took that. And
that was a good clapback.
Nah, I don't know about all that. But
that was a good clapback from a comedian standpoint.
And I think it's only because Kevin Hart said he's the biggest comedian in the world. So I think this is why Chris Rock felt some kind of way to say something.
Chris was just too nice to say, well, I didn't have to wear a dress, but okay.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, we want to talk about clapback. Okay. If you want to get serious, all right, I didn't have to wear a damn dress, but you do you.
Wow. Yo. All right, Chris, let's go.
We can go there if you want.
Drew gave you the blueprint. Let's go.
Okay, Kevy. Sure, little guy. Wearing your little tutu. Sure. I didn't have to do that where I'm at in Hollywood.
Brooklyn in the house. Let's go.
At any rate.
All right. Yeah. We'll end it